is a tuned Kia Seltos Turbo DCT X line, price of rupees 23.32 lakhs on or Mumbai. This car is running on stage 2 tune, because of which it's absolutely bonkers. This car belongs to Tane, and straight away let me show you that it comes with 4 remotes. Yeah, that's right, 4 freaking remotes. This is actually for the car, which is the stock key. This is for the Valvetronic exhaust, with which you can escape the cops if they think you are too loud. This is for the strobe lights here at the front. So by pressing this button, I can change the pattern of how they are flashing, and by pressing the lower button, I can change it to white. That's kind of cool. And this one I will show you once we reach behind the vehicle. Now, in terms of changes, obviously it gets a front splitter right there. It gets this red treatment as well, and these fog lamps are actually quite effective. It gets a bumper guard, this sort of an aero treatment which can come off any moment, which does nothing to cheat wind or make the car go better around the corners. This has been blackened out, so it kind of looks cool. And straight away, let's open the engine bay, because a lot has happened here. There's insulation there. In spite of that, the car is kind of loud now because it has been tuned. Nothing can be seen here. However, it is called as stage 2 plus only because of the changed intercooler, which has been swapped for the moment because of some reliability issues. But yes, with the intercooler, it is stage 2 plus, with which it obviously performs better as well. In terms of the cosmetics, the Seltos is obviously a nice looking car. Here you get this fake treatment for air vents, which is actually a Kia accessory. This has been hydro dipped in sort of carbon fiber. The wheels are stock, but the finish on the brake calipers makes me believe that this is actually aftermarket. This red color here is aftermarket, and it has got a lot of stickers almost everywhere. Stickers here, this has been added. This is a Kia accessory. It says turbo right there. It also gets a dash cam at the front as well as the rear. This door guard has been added on all the doors. Rain visors have been added. It says performance here. Got boost, and a rear spoiler has been added as well. At the rear, you get this diffuser treatment. Exhausts are visible in this particular variant, which is a good thing. It says sport here. Bumper guard right there. In fact, it says limited edition as well. Now, this car does not come with a boot. It comes with a cupboard because there's so much stuff in the boot. Look at that. That's a messy boot. 433 liters, and it also comes with a refrigerator, yeah, a cooling box, which is connected so that it is cool all the times as well. And there is the dash cam, obviously. Meanwhile, it says fast as fluck, and using that key which I was showing you, rather the remote, I can actually change the messages here. So in case I don't like you, I'm just going to say sorry. Thumbs up, which is good job. And this one is my personal favorite. Yeah, this one is something which we can use on Indian roads a lot. So you can change a lot of stuff from here. Not just that, you can actually change it from the mobile phone. The app actually lets you even customize stuff and send whatever you want right here, so that you can convey a message to people. Now obviously it works better in the dark, because right now it's obviously bright and sunny as well, not the Leone kind. Anyways, let's get inside. So not much has changed on the interior front. For starters, there's this, okay, I was going to remove this thing. It's a sticker. It is actually a sticker. It's a carbon fiber sort of a finish here. Center passenger's head is safe because that plastic hasn't been removed on either of the rear headrests, which is such an Indian thing to do, and I love it. This has been added. Yes, ambient lighting is there. Sound mode lamp comes somewhere from here, but more lamps or lights for the ambient lighting has been added here. Very practical car the Seltos is, because you've got decent amount of space. You get an air purifier here as well. Rear AC vents, USB-C charging sockets, decent amount of space here. Another support is never good. You also get panoramic sunroof in this car. And because ambient light is aftermarket, look at the treatment, the way it is going from one side to another like a freaking snake. On the dashboard front, it's more or less the same as before. However, few things have been added, because few more functionalities have been added now. So the owner, Tane, had to go ahead and also put some buttons here and there. Let's straight away get inside, because using these buttons, you can change how you want the ambient light to work. So let me get inside and show that to you. So I press a button here. See the way the ambient light is? Yeah, it changes colors there. Look at that. That's kind of cool. This car obviously has sound mode lamp, but this guy has actually customized the ambient lighting because he likes the lights. And this some plastic gloss thing has been added on the AC vents to give it sort of a purple finish as well. This is for the Valvetronic exhaust, and this is actually for the flashing lights which you were seeing in the start. Meanwhile, it has got eyelids on the gear lever, and the gear lever now usually heats up in DCT cars, but this one feels cold. That's the reason he's wearing a freaking hoodie right here. And because the cool box has to be cooled, there's this sort of a mechanism here. Rear parking camera, quality of the screen, everything is fantastic. I love the blind view monitor. There's a heads up display here, but co-passenger also should get a heads up display. So another heads up display has been added right there. That's so that his dad can monitor his speed if he's driving too fast. So that's kind of a cool thing to add. But two heads-up displays, who would have thought? Steering wheel has this cover. I don't know why it has the French flag here. It's not needed, but it's there. It also hides the Seltos badging there. I don't know why it's there, but it's there. And yeah, the steering is actually having some sort of heft to it. No, the tires are stock, so that's just my feeling right now. The main thing about this car is the performance. This is so freaking slick to use. It's just amazing how well Kia does its infotainment system. 10.25 inch screen, 10.25 inch screen, lovely. And you change the drive mode, then you can change the colors as well. But I think right now it's set up to a particular one. But the real USP of this car is the sound. Absolutely bonkers. Yeah, bonkers. Kind of reminds you that you're in a Lamborghini, and to make sure that you feel like you're in a Lamborghini, this thing has been added as well. Yeah, you lift it up and turn on the vehicle. This is so much like a Huracan. Yeah, that is just a stick on. I just removed it. Okay, doesn't work with magnet, but now I stuck it back on. Hopefully nobody sees I've done such a thing. But how is it to drive? Because it's all about the driving experience. 205 horsepower. Isn't that crazy? All right, let's start driving, which means I first need to remove this upwards and then turn on the car. Turns on with a lot of smoothness. You can't feel a thing. Air conditioning off. We come into drive mode, and I'm going to turn off the traction control. I'm going to keep this button pressed for 3 seconds and it will turn off traction and ESC completely. Yes, both of them are completely disabled now, which is such a good thing. And straight away we start moving right ahead. Let me also turn on my specialist timing device so that I can also time the car, how fast it is to go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. Around the corners, actually, oh my god, the sound is crazy. This car is very engaging to drive somehow. Yes, the Seltos is on the stiffer side, which gives it good ride and handling balance. Yeah, ride is on the stiffer side, but handling wise it's actually decent. Body roll is there, but something you can contend with. And the best part is that the steering actually has weight. So it is having a lot of weight. It feels heavy. It gives decent amount of feedback, but does not have much amount of feel as such. And sound is such now that the neighbors are going to hate you the most, because yes, it is loud and how, and I'm not even accelerating very hard. That's kind of funny that it still makes so much sound. Okay, brakes are also strong enough, and yes, the body roll is there, and the sound, oh my god. Yeah, the exhaust is just loud because it has got a full system exhaust, a downpipe, decat. Yeah, catalytic converter has been removed, and obviously this car has a valvetronic exhaust so that you can turn it off if you don't want it to be that loud. But when you do that and if you rev it now, it can damage a few things, so it's not recommended. Let me quickly turn on the driver rear view monitor. That's actually the parking thing. Yeah, there is the camera which is on right now. The Seltos is a fantastic car, very practical, not the most fun, although the engine is very powerful. This is a 1.5 liter engine, which is obviously turbocharged, direct injection, and it produces 160 horsepower, which is class leading till you don't factor in the Creta, which also has the same engine. But then this car is producing 253 Newton meters of torque and a claim time of 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 8.9 seconds, which is quick. It does not get a manual, so that's where the Creta is better, because the Creta N-Line or a regular Creta also, there is a manual there, which means that you can launch the car and have fun with a manual. Here you get an IMT. IMT is no sense at all, because I mean, if I can change the gears, I can definitely press the clutch as well. It's relieving you from your left foot ache, but still you need to work the gearbox. So IMT makes no sense at all. My specialist timing gear is still wondering what to do. Come on, power up. We need to time this car. And there are 3 drive modes. There's eco, there's normal, and there's sport. So what else has happened? Obviously, it has got air filter, performance air filter. It's a stock replacement air filter. Cold air intake has not been added because I think it's anyways taking in fresh air from the outside. The exhaust is a real highlight here, and a stage 2 plus tune, which means that power is now gone up from 160 horsepower to 205 horsepower, and those are conservative numbers. Torque has gone up from 253 Newton meters all the way to 330 Newton meters, which is considerable. And when you push it hard, okay, now our specialist timing gear is active, which means we should test the acceleration of the car. Before that, let's do the brake test. Brakes are decent, not the best. Hazard lights on, we put it into sport mode, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, and off we go. Wheel spin, crazy wheel spin. Upshifts at around 6,000 RPM. And 0 to 100 kilometers per hour has come up in 8.83 seconds. So it's not pops and cracks and all that are coming. It's not the fastest, because I think the engine and the gearbox needs to cool down a bit. So you can reprogram the ECU for more power, but you cannot reprogram the TCU, which has to be done here to improve the performance. But Kia and Hyundai have really locked that in, that people are not able to tweak the software of the TCU, which is the transmission control unit. The result is this car gearbox is the letdown here, because firstly it does not let you launch at all. So they have dialed in the lag in the dual clutch automatic gearbox so that it does not blow up, and that's done for reliability obviously. And that's the reason it kind of 1 second is gone in launch only, because it's just not able to launch aggressively. So that's one problem with this car. And then it's also decently quick with shifts because it's a DCT unit. I love the blind view monitor. Yeah, so it's a decently quick unit. However, it feels jerky at lower speeds, and this car does gather pace with a lot of enthusiasm. The kind of speed it does is just amazing. The exhaust is just a bit too loud here, especially the cracks and pops. They're so aggressive. In fact, I am not kidding. It even puts out flames that can be only seen at night, obviously. Oh, the pops and cracks, they are so satisfying here. That is the real USP here. Now, if I cool down the car, the engine, the transmission by turning it off and just sitting in for a while, then I believe this car will go faster still, at least by hopefully a second. Top speed is 200 kilometers per hour for this car, I think, but now it will do almost 220 kilometers per hour. So yes, all these mods have made this car much faster, more fun, yet it's still very practical. Meanwhile, since we are at a signal, let me quickly change this particular mode by getting into the settings. Where is the vehicle? There is the cluster. Come on. We have to do it before the signal turns on. And here we are into the classic one, the A1 or the C1, which is better. I think the C1 is better. Straight away, let's turn on the driver rear view monitor. Car turned on. Stop start system I need to turn off as well. Horn is disappointing. That needs to be changed first thing. And here we go. Crazy amount of wheel spin. Yeah, the wheel spins are mental here, because obviously all that torque going to the front wheels. Yeah, it's front wheel drive, and with traction control off, it becomes super duper aggressive. So let's time the car once again, which means left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, resetting this as well, and off we go. Come on, see that lag. Oh, wheel spin on upshift. Oh my god, the cracks and pops really crack me up all the time. Okay, we are a little slower from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, but it kind of feels fast. It definitely has improved in terms of performance, but you need the right temperature to make sure that it's able to put all that power down, because at the end of the day, it's all about cooling. It's all about how well the car is able to breathe, and then only it can give you the performance. Now, better tires would help it put the power down even more effectively. These stock tires, they're okay, they get the job done, but they are not fantastic. Yeah, grip levels could be better with all this power. It's advisable to be in neutral when you come to a halt, because yeah, you have to take care of the gearbox, dual clutch, 2 clutches, fast with shifts, gets jerky in such situations because low speed is not the best for this particular gearbox, and it doesn't heat up. It actually feels cold. That's why it's wearing this hoodie now. Such a stupid joke, but it kind of feels apt as well, because this gearbox has been known to heat up quite a lot, and there have been a lot of complaints. I think there's been a recall as well. Anyways, let's launch it once again. We are in the shadow, so hopefully things will cool down right now. So I'm just going to put the gearbox in neutral so that it can breathe better. Hazard lights on, let the traffic clear. Okay, we come into drive. I'm going to launch it in drive this time. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, hazard lights off, and off we go. I think it's a better launch, but yes, there's a lot of wheel spin. Okay, so we need to cool down a bit. The cracks and pops, they are the real highlight here. Car feels so fast, it feels so fun, it feels so engaging to drive. A Seltos being this much fun is something which is kind of unbelievable, and this is a daily driver as well, so it gives you the best of both worlds, which is the most fantastic thing here, that you can drive it daily yet have fun as well. Turn off the valves to make sure that it's not very loud, and then you can drive it sedately too. But this is just amazing, the best of both the worlds, if I may, because this is obviously a high riding car, which means ground clearance is not an issue. Usually what happens is when you mod your car, you drop the ride height and then you have to really crawl through speed breakers. None of that here, because the ride height has not been dropped. There's a lot more potential in the Seltos. In fact, there's a lot of potential in Hyundai Kia cars. Most people go for the Verna because the Verna is obviously having better aero efficiency. But the Verna's the intercooler, which is made by Garrett and aftermarket one, fits into this car with some modifications. The turbo is the same, but the intercooler housing is a bit different between both the cars, and that's the challenge of fitting in an intercooler from Garrett, or aftermarket performance one. So Garrett has not yet made it for the Seltos, although it's funny considering the Seltos far outsells the Verna. But I think because the Verna is obviously more aimed towards sporty driving because it's a sedan and less weight and better aerodynamics, better CD value and all that, people prefer to get the Verna if they want to do sporty driving. But I'm pleasantly surprised that a Seltos can be this much fun, because you can't write off the 1.5 litre petrol engine from Hyundai Kia. It's very potent. 160 horsepower in stock is mind-blowing. I know a lot of these VW fans are going to be like, 1.5 TSI is the best, and they are right, because a TSI is a TSI is a freaking TSI, and there is a Rapid right here, there is a Verna as well. But I'm following an auto rickshaw right now. Quickly come into neutral just to cool down the gearbox for a couple of seconds. I know many of you are like, why don't you put it into neutral, drive, wait, and then push it into drive and launch it? That is going to damage your gearbox. Obviously, that's something you should never, ever, ever, ever do. It's better to be slow by a second from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. If you really want to go fast, get a manual. Not available in the Seltos because it gets an IMT. Just get the Creta N-Line manual. It's a fantastic car. Similar pricing, this one costs rupees 24.32 lakhs on road Mumbai, which is actually stellar value for money considering the kind of features it has. Yeah, it's loaded to the brim, and what not it has. It's kind of crazy that cars these days are loaded with so much gadgetry, yet this one also has the potential purely because of the engine being fantastic here. And off we go! Upshifts could be a bit faster. The car is not able to calibrate how fast it's going because of the better acceleration, so not able to upshift at the right time. And obviously I've got manual control on the gearbox as well because of paddle shifters too. The cracks, the pops, all of them, so soothing. Seems like a better launch to me. Come on! No. Yeah, so... I don't know what is bogging down the car. I think it's the heat. But yes, it does feel fast. It feels engaging to drive. And especially the exhaust, well, it is absolutely lovely with the pops, cracks and bangs. And there's a lot more potential. So with this car, I realized that the 1.5 litre engine, the turbo petrol engine from Hyundai Kia is much ignored. It has a lot of potential. You can do crazy amount of stuff with this car, but people just prefer to get Germans like Polo, the Vento, the Virtus, and all those cars purely because those cars are definitely easier to get parts of. Any random time, it gives you this sound which is kind of crazy. But if you want the best of both worlds, practicality, features and performance as well, this is probably the way to go. If you like this video, make sure to give the thumbs up, that's the like button, and also subscribe to the channel. And a special thanks to Tane for lending me his souped up car, for giving it the beans. Bye bye.